Just your
Okay.
thoughts on Kindle. Is
So
it good?
now,
Kindle?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, madam. Go ahead.
We are starting here, ma'am. Now the core belief.
the yeah, now the core belief just given is of one kind. You hold some basic assumptions that are also core beliefs. To you, they seem to be definitions. They are so a part of you that you take them for granted. Your idea, can we take out? Your idea of time is one. So
Hmm.
your core beliefs, yeah. Um, you may enjoy You may enjoy manipulating thoughts of time in your mind. You may find yourself thinking that time is basically different from your experience of it, but fundamentally, you believe that you exist in the hours and the years, that the weeks come at you one at a time, that you are caught in the onrush of the seasons.
Hmm.
Naturally, your physical experience reinforces this belief. You structure your perception, therefore, in terms of the lapses that seem to happen between events. This in itself forces you to concentrate, let's go down, to concentrate your attention in one direction only and discourages you from perceiving the events in your life in other fashions. You may occasionally employ the association of ideas, one thought leading easily to another. When you do this, you often perceive new insights. As the events fall apart from time continuity in your mind, they seem to take on fresh vitality. So he is saying, as the events fall apart from time continuity in your mind, they seem to take on fresh vitality. You have unstructured them. You see from the usual organization.
So
As
what
you
is he
apprehend,
saying? No, no, ma'am. One sec. Let's just repeat this. You see, what is the core belief that he has? I mean, of one kind. Telepathically, you will also attract unconscious data that fits into this rigid pattern. Okay. That pattern being your basic belief, right? And once
mm,
you hold, you form an opinion, you will look for data that will only align with that, and that is what you will attract. But
yes.
what he says is the core belief just given is one kind, it is just one type of a core belief. You hold some basic assumptions. Your basic assumptions, they also could be core beliefs. To you, they
Mm,
seem to be definitions. They are so a part of you that you take them for granted. Your idea of time is one. One of that happens to be the idea of the way we understand, the way we assume, the way we
yes,
define what we call time.
yes.
Okay. You may enjoy manipulating thoughts of time in your mind. That we do it, right? We
Mm-hmm.
anyway do it. You may find yourself thinking that time is basically different from your experience of it, but fundamentally, you believe that you exist in the hours and the years, right? That the
Mm.
weeks come at you one at a time. One second.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, what is he saying? You may find yourself thinking that time is basically different from your experience of it. but fundamentally you believe that you exist in the hours and in the years. Sometimes we sit
Yes.
and imagine, right? When I am 35, I will do this. When I am 32, I will do this. All that is the type of imagination that we keep doing. And we exist in those times,
Yes.
right? Naturally,
Yeah.
your physical experience reinforces this belief. You structure your perception, therefore, in terms of lapses that seem to happen between events, right?
Mm.
This in itself forces you to concentrate your attention in one direction only and discourages you from perceiving the events in your life in other fashion. So basically, our belief, our assumption is one kind of a core belief, and it orients our entire thought process along that line. It doesn't let
Yes.
us move into the
Yeah.
any
Yes.
adjoining thoughts, etc.,
Yes.
because of our core belief.
Yeah. And one of
You
them is time concept.
Yeah, the concept of time also is a core belief. You may
Yes.
occasionally employ the association of ideas, one thought leading easily to another. When you do this, you often perceive new insights,
Mm.
right? I mean, which is happening with us, right? We are reading something, we suddenly go to Percival's editorials, we pull out something,
Mm.
right? Then
Yes.
we are
Yes.
suddenly led to Bhagavad
Yes.
Gita through Vivekananda's organization, the Ramakrishna.org, the Vedanta
Yes.
organization of Ramakrishna, and so on, right? So one idea is leading you to a larger
Another.
insights, right?
Yes.
As the events fall apart from time continuity in your mind, they seem to take a fresh vitality, which is true, as
Yeah.
they give you new insights, right? That is, yeah, let's now proceed.
So that means you have unstructured them. You're not.
No, as you take in more and more ideas, as you more contemplate more and more, you start getting more insights.
Mm.
They may not be from one source, one track. There may be multiple tracks that if you, so basically what is he saying, don't go just in line with the assumption. Take assumption to be one track,
Mm.
right? And observe as you proceed along that assumption, observe the other tracks that are manifesting.
Yes. Yes. Don't
So
structure into
increase
one.
your awareness. Basically, he's saying
Yes.
increase your awareness.
Correct. As you apprehend them through association, you come quite close to examining the contents of your mind in a free fashion.
Correct.
But if you drop the time concept and then view the conscious content of your mind through other core ideas, you are still structuring. I am not
Correct. So
saying
you are
that,
not yet finalized, you are still structuring.
yeah, through the time concept. I am not saying that you should never organize those contents. I'm not saying that you should never organize those contents. I am saying that you must become aware of your own structures, build them up or tear them down, but do not allow yourself to become blind to the furniture of your own mind.
Correct. So basically, what is he telling us? This is another way of saying live in the moment.
Mm,
Right? So when you are living in
yeah,
the moment, you are definitely going to take cognizance of multiple
yeah,
viewpoints. You will evaluate them. You will not. Also, another way to look at it is he is saying, surrender your ego mind.
mm,
Right? Yeah.
yeah. So structuring means like planning ahead of time and thinking of future, something like that. Yeah. You can stub
Correct.
your toe as on a misplaced idea as you can upon.
So that means some of the ideas where you are potentially going in the wrong track, you can just leave them. You
Yeah.
don't need to live by them.
Yes. Upon an old chair, it will help you. In fact, if you think of your own beliefs as furniture that can be rearranged, changed, renewed, completely discarded, or replaced. That means
Correct.
rearrange. So
Yes.
it
No,
help
you
you
can
to
rearrange, you can throw them out, you can pick up new ones. There are so many options you will then be able to identify.
yes, those beliefs.
Correct.
So
Correct.
he said your own beliefs, you can do all these things. Rearrange,
Correct.
change, renew, or replace.
No, core
Your
beliefs. No, you need to build in flexibility in your vision of core beliefs.
Yes, that is right. That's the main thing. You should be
Correct.
flexible. Your
Correct.
ideas are you. They should not control you. It is up to you to accept those that you choose to accept. Imagine yourself then rearranging this furniture. Images of particular pieces will come clearly to you. Ask yourself what ideas these pieces represent. See how well the tables fit together. Open up the drawers inside. There will be no mystery. You know what your own beliefs are. You will see the groupings, but it is up to you to look inside your own mind and to use the images in your own way. Throw out ideas that do not suit you. If you read this, find such an idea in yourself and then say, I cannot throw this idea away. Then you must realize that your inner remark is in itself a belief. You can indeed throw the idea away, the second one as easily as the first one. So that is flexibility. Just don't be rigid.
Exactly. Don't be rigid.
You are not powerless before ideas. Using this analogy, you will certainly find some furniture that you did not expect. Do not simply look into the center of your inner room of consciousness and make sure that you are on guard against the certain invisibility that was mentioned earlier, where an idea quite available appears to be a part of reality instead.
Exactly. So what
So
is
you
he
are guarding.
saying? You are on guard against the
Yeah,
certain
invisibility.
invisibility. See, there are
Yes.
invisibility is part and parcel of your visibility. That is the point he is making.
Yes, that is F1, F2 one way. Yeah.
F1, F2 again. Yes.
The structuring of
This
belief is
Barry
done in a
Gelly seems to have digested entire Seth wisdom into F1 and F2.
yes. He put it in a
Right?
very nice way.
A
Yeah.
very nice way. Yes.
The structuring of beliefs is done in a highly characteristic yet individual manner. So you will find patterns that exist between various groupings and one can lead you to another. The idea of being the responsible parent, for example, may lead quite easily to other psychic structures involving responsibility so that data is accepted on its own value. You may even think that it is wrong to view any situation except through your parental status.
Hmm. So you will
Okay.
start
So
looking at and analyzing the situation only from your core belief. Don't do that.
yeah,
Go beyond it. Exactly.
only yes. The belief in guilt, therefore, would be cementing structure that would hold together other similar core beliefs and add to their strength. See, that is why the guilt becomes, and then it becomes like a cement, he's saying, cement structure.
Exactly. Yes.
So you must understand that these are not simply dead ideas like debris within your mind. They are psychic matter. In a sense, then they are alive. They group themselves like cells, protecting their own validity and identity. You feed them, figuratively speaking, with like ideas. When you examine one such belief, then you obviously threaten the integrity of the structure. And so there are ways of inserting new supports. So to speak, methods to tide you over. The whole core belief need not fall down upon you as you examine its basis. Now,
What is
I
he
will
saying?
stop.
When it comes to core belief, you don't have to go only by the core belief.
Yes.
It should not,
Examine the
belief need not fall down upon you as you examine its basis. There may be more to that basis.
Correct. Now, I will stop at that for now and take a break. We will be finished with this chapter shortly and then we will begin the next. I would speak faster for you, but we need the note for the book. Okay, let's go down. I think we need not read all this.
Is there anything specific?
I will read this one. It says Jonathan Livingston. Some notes added later. Dick
Where
Back.
is that? This one, right? Yeah.
Dick Back said that he didn't really write Siegel himself. By now, the story of that book's conception is well known. Late one night in 1959, Dick was walking beside a canal near a West Coast beach when he heard a voice say, Jonathan Livingston Siegel. No one else was around. He was astonished. He was even more so when, on his return home, the voice initiated images that gave him the bulk of the book in three-dimensional form. Wow. Then it stopped. On his own, Dick tried unsuccessfully to finish the manuscript. Nothing happened until one day, 8 years later, when he suddenly wakened to hear the voice again, and with it came the rest of the book. Oh my God, wow. Who wrote it?
See, yesterday, you remember, we were reading another book.
Yes, the Soul Speaks.
Soul Speaks.
Right? And in that, did we not hear a similar statement? He's saying, okay, draw it.
Yes.
As you are reading it, draw it.
Yes,
right?
correct.
And when you draw, what you are thinking was your understanding is just a wee bit or an iota of the bigger picture.
Yeah.
When you start drawing, all those bits and pieces form into place, right?
Yes.
And today's deja vu says, those could be your core beliefs. Don't limit yourself to that core belief. You keep exploring it from different vision. My God, this is serendipity.
The horizon. See, it keeps increasing the horizon. Yes.
Exactly. And just look at this. No, read this. This is interesting once again.
Yes.
I think we should read this portion once again.
Yeah, this is Richard Bach book. Richard Bach. INESRC. Sorry.
So, generally Richard, the short name or the pet name for Richard is Dick.
No? Okay, yeah. Okay. Richard Bach felt that he didn't really write Siegel himself. By now, the story of that book's conception is well known. Late one night in 1959, Richard was walking beside a canal near a West Coast beach when he heard a voice say, Jonathan Livingston Siegel. No one else was around. He was astonished. He was even more so when, on his return home, the voice initiated images that gave him the bulk of the book in three-dimensional form. Then it stopped. On his own, Richard tried unsuccessfully to finish the manuscript. Nothing happened until one day, 8 years later, when he suddenly wakened to hear the voice again, and with it came the rest of the book. Who wrote it? Richard didn't claim the authorship. He came across the Seth material, saw similarities in Jane's and his experiences, and came here to see if she or Seth could explain the phenomenon. There are points of correlation. Of course, only Jane is presented not with just a voice, but with an entire personality, say, who then writes books while she is in an altered state of consciousness. So she and Richard were highly interested in what Seth would say. Oh, so he
Correct.
came and talked.
Yeah, no, not only that. He came and spoke, that is one. The second thing is there is a difference. You could get the entire story, the full 360-degree complement of it, or you may just hear. So when it comes
Yeah.
to intuition, it could be that powerful.
But in his case, I mean, slowly, first the title and then the book, the cover page,
But it
and
was
then
only
the
at the
whole,
voice level.
yeah, voice level.
But
That's
here
right.
it
Yes.
is the complete lecture level.
Yeah. Yes, correct. So besides this novel, this Jane's novel, The Education of Oversoul 7, it was written under similar yet different circumstances. She describes the processes involved in her introduction, along with the creation of some of her poetry. To Jane, these states are all aspects of the same kind of highly accelerated creativity that finally goes beyond itself into levels or aspects of reality that we don't understand clearly yet. The whole question is also relevant in cases involving automatic writing, painting, in singing, musical compositions, etc. Oh, okay. So
See,
these are all similar.
we here in after coming into this PSSM, one thing I understood is we kept hearing the words auto writing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, art writing. Yes.
Right? Now that is getting clarified here, how it is happening.
Yeah. Yeah, involving auto writing, painting, singing, musical compositions. Now, here are some near verbatim quotes from the information Seth gave Richard. In this book, many examples of various kinds of altered states of consciousness on Jane's part. In addition to Seth's volume, these sometimes resulted in very creative products of her own, some of the psychic experiences connected with her book of poetry, Dialogues of the Soul and Mortal Self in Time. So that is her poetry she has written,
Correct.
which she began in November 1972, are described in the 639th session in chapter 10. And in 653rd session in chapter 13, we go into those involved with the writings of her long poem, Dialogues of the Speakers, on April 2nd, 1973.
No, this is basically what he is saying is
I
this one. She describes the processes involved in her introduction along with the creation of some of her poetry. So she is explaining the processes involved
Correct.
in this kind of an interaction taking
So let's go into the next page.
No, someone was trying to say something.
Oh, I think you can mute.
Okay. Right.
Chandra garu, are you on mute? I cannot hear you.
You're not able to hear me?
I think sir can't hear.
Yeah.
No, I'm able to hear. I'm not audible.
Chandra garu, we cannot hear you.
What happened suddenly?
Oh, now we can hear. Before we were not able to.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if I had disabled
Okay. Bach
something.
and Company on the evening of September 27, 1972. Information does not exist by itself. Connected with it is the consciousness of all those who understand it, perceive it, or originate it. So there are not records in terms of objective, forever available banks of information into which you tune. Instead, the consciousness that held or holds or will hold the information attracts it like a magnet. The information itself wants to move towards consciousness. It is not dead or inert. It is not something you grab for. It is also something that want to be grabbed. And so it gravitates to those who seeks it. Oh, okay. So who are very, enthusiastic, who wants it. So it gravitates to those who seeks it. It goes towards them.
So what is he talking here?
Oh,
Anyone
again,
got it?
we cannot hear you.
Why? What is happening? I'm not audible. Just give
Yeah,
me a
now
moment.
again you got the voice. Yes, we can hear.
I think let me change this network.
I think something is wrong with the voice and your side.
No, is it the voice or is it my network? Let me do one thing. Let me move a bit closer.
Yeah,
And
now we can hear.
also, looks like my network connectivity is a problem. Is this better? Am I audible?
Your picture is frozen.
No, that's because I'm shifting networks. Is all okay now?
Okay, got it.
Okay, all right. No, that was because I just shifted the network. I'm having a problem with this network, it appears. No, it's a very interesting thing, right?
Yes.
What was I saying? Somewhere
The
because of this.
consciousness that held or will hold the information attracts it like a magnet.
No, here what he is talking about is two phenomena that we know. My system locked me out and brought me back.
Okay.
Right? No, what he is trying to say here is two phenomena that we know of, which belong to this
You need to share.
manifestation.
There,
Pardon? I
there
need to share
there is no
again.
share.
No, I need to share again because this fellow threw me out, right?
Mm,
Okay.
yes.
So he is talking about two concepts that we know of, which are very, very predominant when we
Mm,
try to look at manifestation process. Right?
yes.
One is
Yeah. Like attracts like. Like
correct.
attracts like.
Correct. Right. So one is this, and the other one is we have to attract our feelings. So
Mm,
when we take this approach, on one side, we are saying like attracts like.
yes.
Okay. And, right?
Mm,
And so like attracts like is one, and the process of manifestation. This is the second one. Both of them are playing a predominant role across whether we are aware or we are not aware of it. That is the point that is the takeaway from these two together.
yeah.
Right.
Yes. So he's saying it. The information itself wants to move towards consciousness. It is not dead or inert. It is not something you grab for. It is also something that wants to be grabbed. And it gravitates to those who seek it. So your consciousness attracts the consciousness that is already connected with the material. That is one of my goodies for the information. Information then becomes new and is reborn as it is interpreted through a new consciousness, as Siegel was. The inner portion of being using those abilities that have always been that have always been yours interpreted the information through the kaleidoscope of your own being. So the inner portion of your being, using those abilities that have always been yours, interpreted the information through the kaleidoscope of your own being, using the best portions of yourself, producing then a brilliant truth in new clothes, but in clothes that no one could have given it but yourself. So without knowing, you yourself manifesting all this.
Correct.
Now I will tell you, if you assign the authorship of Siegel to another, then you deny the uniqueness of your own inner self.
Correct. So don't just give it, hand it over to someone else.
Yes,
Yeah.
the truth to you and was given to you. So because he had the truth in him, he was capable of, so that is why it is given to him. But the originality and uniqueness was provided by your own inner being. See, that is it. So the
Correct. That is
originality and the
what
unique,
people miss out, is what he is trying to highlight.
yes. So he
So
attracted
we end
because
up
of his,
missing out this.
yeah.
Hmm.
So the originality and the uniqueness was provided by your own inner being, which may now be so separated from your conscious self that it seems to be apart from it.
Hmm.
So it is within you, but yeah.
Correct.
So other things were also involved, not only the birth of a book, but the emergence of the inner self through art into the physical universe. Now,
Hmm.
part of the focus and the strength comes from those two births.
So
And the
there are two
intensity behind.
births here. So what is he
Mhm.
saying? There are two births here. One is the emergence of the inner self and
Through the
coming into
art.
reality through the art into a physical unit.
Yes.
And that is not just the birth of the book, it is more.
Yeah. Now,
Not
part
only
of
the
the
book,
focus.
but there is more to it. That is what he is trying to
Yeah.
highlight. Yeah.
Now, part of the focus and the strength comes from those two birds, and the intensity behind them is also the reason why the book's nativity strikes the world as strongly as it does.
Hmm.
The two are merged in the book. So those two are the emergence of the
So
inner
the
self
culmination
and
of these two, the birth of the book as well as the
yeah,
emergence of the inner
yes,
being, are
yeah,
together manifested.
into the universe. Yes.
Correct, correct.
So the two are merged in the book. You are looking for the author of Siegel, and I tell you, I am looking at him. He may not have the face that you see when you look in the mirror, simply because you cannot see your true identity in a mirror. But I am looking at all that is visible, the visible of the author of Siegel, and you should know him best of all. And I
Correct.
will tell you through the years how to become acquainted with him and more speaking terms.
Right.
So the
So
perception is different.
exactly. No, that is one. And the second one is you will probably start increasing your awareness, by virtue of which you will be able to see him in real terms.
Yes.
Hmm.
Robert already has a head start on this, so I am not spoiling his fun. There are indeed aspects of your own consciousness that operate in completely different environments. Environments, for example, that are not physical. There are aspects of you, therefore, that know many other kinds of information than those available to you at the conscious level now. What is this? Environments, for
No, no,
example, that are
no.
not physical.
See, what he is talking about is your multiverse availability or visibility.
Yeah, yeah.
See, he
So
is
not
now
only
trying to establish that, see, if you are to communicate through telepathy,
yeah,
right, there has to be two sides or two components
yeah,
involved, correct?
Yes.
He is
So
talking
not
about
only,
you and yourself in multiple stages and states of existence.
yes, that is, yeah, multidimensional, but we are not
Correct.
recognizing. Yes.
You
We
are
are only
unable to, with your current level of environments
perception.
that are not physical, there are aspects of you, therefore, that you may that that know many other kinds of information than those available to you at the conscious level now. You may
Yes.
not be conscious, but there is more. Basically, F1, F2 once again.
Correct.
Okay? Manifested versus unmanifested. Don't limit yourself, right, to
Yes.
just what is manifested. Explore the unmanifested for getting
In
the
unman.
whole picture. That is the key message.
So
Note
note that
that
endorsed the theory of aspects. She has begun a book on the subject. In it, she will explore, among other things, the nature, validity, and sources of such personalities as Seth and the intrusion of intuitional or revelatory material. Once again, see her introduction.
Okay.
So, session 619 October 9, 1972. My mother lives with my brother and his family in a small community in upstate New York, near Rochester, and Jane and I had spent the weekend visiting one and all. During our drive back to Elmira this morning, Jane said, somebody is working on Seth's book. I can tell you that. I keep getting snatches of it. It is about imagination and beliefs, I think, and how they interact. Only there is a lot more to it. Well, she added, pleased. It is nice to know the work's being done. Now, I bid you good evening. So let's go down.
I think we need to identify if there is such a book and how they
And
interact.
Unless there is something specifically want me to discuss, we will resume dictation. Give us a moment, then imagination also plays an important part in your subjective life as it gives mobility to your beliefs. It is one of the motivating agencies that helps transform your beliefs into physical experience. See, it is one of the motivating agencies that helps transform your beliefs into physical experience. That imagination it is vital, therefore, that you understand the interrelationship between ideas and imagination. In order to dislodge unsuitable beliefs and establish new ones, you must learn to use your imagination to move concepts in and out of your mind. The proper use of imagination can then propel ideas in the directions you desire. So we need to imagine the positive things.
Correct. Yes. End of chapter 3. Very nice.
So, chapter 4, your imagination and your beliefs, and a few words about the origin of your beliefs. Chapter 4, okay. In physical life, your conscious mind is largely dependent upon the workings of your physical brain. You have a conscious mind, whether you are in a flesh or out of it. But
yeah, Ramakrishna sir.
So, sir, I think in the chapter 3 was talking totally about core beliefs. Let's take 2 minutes and then compare the core beliefs with our limiting beliefs.
No,
Compare
core
them.
beliefs can take the shape of limiting beliefs or otherwise. Everything is subjected to your F1, F2.
Okay.
Right? So, if it is in the F2 domain, you need to be cognizant of it. That is the problem.
Okay.
Right? Now, if you look at it from a limited perspective, your core belief can potentially become your limiting belief.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So, what is the one that is drawing a line between the two? You are being unaware of the concept of F1 and F2.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. That becomes very, very essential. The approach, whatever we take, needs to have F1, F2 built into them.
Yeah. Physical and perceived.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very
Okay.
good. Thank you.
And
In
the
physical life,
communication between them could be telepathic or otherwise.
Hmm.
Again,
Yeah.
F1, F2.
Yes. Yes.
Physical, non-physical, but communication is still existing.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Balaman.
yeah. So your imagination and your beliefs, okay. In physical life, your conscious mind is largely dependent upon the workings of your physical brain. You have a conscious whether you are in flesh or out of it. But when you are physically oriented, then it is connected to the physical brain. The brain, to some extent, keeps the mind to a three-dimensional focus. It orients you towards the environment in which you must operate, and it is because of the mind's allegiance with the temporal brain that you perceive, for example, time as a series of moments. So, for example, we always think time as a series of moments. See, that is our belief. Let's go
Correct.
down. The brain channels the information that the mind receives to your physical structure so that your experience is physically shifted and automatically translated into terms that the organism can understand. So, say Jane spoke
No,
emphatically,
everyone
wrapping up.
understands this word, right? SIFTED.
Yeah, it like a jalad, I mean, it sieves,
It is separated, yeah.
separated. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's separated according to, in terms of our terms, and yeah. Because of this, physically speaking, and in life, as you think of it, the mind is to a large extent dependent upon the brain's growth and activity. Because of this, that means the physically shifted and automatically translated. So that means, according to our beliefs, we we
See, what is
shift.
he
That means,
saying? He is using these two words. In physical life, your physical brain. Okay,
so
connect
that
the
means
two. Your conscious mind is largely dependent upon the working of your physical brain. If thought was going to start, okay, that's okay, that's okay. Yeah, okay. The brain was, okay, basically your conscious mind and the lack of it. Yeah. So whatever you are focusing on, and then subjected to your understanding of it.
yes.
You are thinking that, just like what Namrata just wrote, right?
So, according to your perceivance, you only take whatever you want. You know, that's what's up.
Correct. So what is the brain going to do? Now you have put your, let us take Ramakrishna sir's question, limiting belief. Suppose you are thinking from the channel of limiting belief, right? Will
Yes.
other beliefs, the fact that you are beyond the scope of the limiting belief, that means you have belief system which is beyond your limiting belief, you are not going to take because you are thinking within the contours of your limiting belief.
Yes. Yes.
The brain, to some extent, keeps the mind in a three-dimensional focus. It orients you towards the environment in which you must operate, and is because of the mind's allegiance with the temporal brain, the physical brain, that you perceive time as a series. So basically, because it is thinking only from the physical perspective, right? The
Yes.
brain channels the information that the mind receives to your physical structure, so that your experience is physically shifted and automatically translated into terms that the organism can understand.
Yes.
So
So,
your
yeah.
awareness, all these are parameters that are going to help you comprehend what you are able to put together, what you are able to perceive, what you are able to conceive, right? Those become the states. Because of this,
Also,
huh,
yeah, if your understanding increases, that means you can take more according to that. Yeah. Because of
so
this,
that is
physically,
why it is dependent upon the brain's growth
yeah,
and activity.
yes. So, see, the more you learn and understand more, so your neurons also they fire, and then you get more and more information.
Correct.
Because of this, physically speaking, and in life, as you think of it, the mind is to a large extent dependent upon the brain's growth and activity. There is some information necessary to physical survival that must be taught and handed down from parent to child. There are basic assumptions of a general nature with which you are born, but because the specific conditions of your environment are so various, these must be implemented. So it is necessary that the child accepts beliefs from its parents.
Hmm.
These will reinforce the family group when the child most needs.
Correct.
Most needs for her
So what
protection.
happens? It is
Because the
necessary
child,
that the acts, the beliefs from its parents, right? Because the
yes.
parents' imagination is going to be the factor around which whatever they provide, etc., is going to be in physical reality, in physical terms, correct?
Yes. And these will
These will
reinforce the
reinforce the family group when the child
child needs.
protection.
Yeah. So this
This
acquiescence to
acceptance
believe,
to belief then is important in the early stages as infant development develops into a child.
mm,
Right.
important in the early stages as infant. Yeah. This sharing of mutual ideas not only protects the new offspring from dangers obvious to the parents, it also serves as a framework within which the child can grow. So it is, important for both parents and the child.
No, not only that. Your
Offspring.
role as parent, if you don't recognize this becomes a limiting belief under which the child will grow.
No, yes, he is also saying the sharing of mutual ideas not only protects the new offspring from dangers obvious to the parents, it also serves as a framework within which the child can grow. Okay.
So it
Yeah.
will influence the growth of the child also.
Yes.
We need to be aware. We don't take cognizance of that.
Correct.
Hmm.
This provides leeway until the conscious mind is able to reason for itself and provide its own value judgments.
Hmm.
Later, I will discuss greater aspects of the origin of ideas, but for now, we will simply speak in terms of this life, the one you know. The beliefs that you receive, therefore, are your parents' conceptions of the nature of reality. They are given to you through example, verbal communication, and constant telepathic reinforcement. You receive ideas about the world in general and your relationship to it. And from
Can you
your
think
parent,
of
you
one? Can you think of one daily conscious belief or daily conscious telecommunication or the telepathic communication that you are under the influence of on a daily basis, even now? Can you think about it?
Oh, connection
Do
to
we
higher self,
always, no, no. Do
connection
we
to
always get into the manifestation of this framework particularly? Do we always think, if my father was around, what would he tell me? What would he advise me? How would he ask me to proceed? Do we ask that question on a daily basis, father or mother?
after certain age, I don't think we question, do we?
I mean, at least
All
I still question. When I am stuck somewhere, I go back to that framework under which I grew up and then convince myself, because I was in the hostel, I have been able to overcome.
Yeah.
This
It all
does
depends upon the way you are grown up. Yes, correct.
no,
Because for
that is
women,
the point I'm making. The
for
influence of
women,
this framework is there throughout our life.
correct. Yeah.
See, what happens is the subconscious part first tickles. Then you then say, no, now they are not there. That was yesterday's world. This is today's world. All of our conscious learnings come into play. But
Yeah.
this
Okay.
framework influences us at the first hidden reaction.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That is the point I think he is explaining here.
Yeah. You receive ideas. Let's go back.
Correct.
You receive ideas. Your parents. You are also given. You receive ideas about the world in general and your relationship to it. And from your parents, you're also given concepts of what you are. You pick up their ideas of your own reality. Yeah.
Hmm.
But later, when you are
That's what
growing
he's
up
saying.
slowly,
No, he's not stopping you there. See what he is stating next.
yeah, underneath of all this, you carry indelibly within your own knowledge of your identity, meaning and purpose. But in the early stages of development, great care is taken to see that you relate in physical terms. These
Hmm.
are directional cues that you receive from your parents, orienting you in ways that they feel are safe. Yeah,
Hmm.
correct. These beliefs, the child can be safe and satisfy its own curiosity, develop its abilities, and throw its full energy in clearly stated areas of activity. Because every generation, the way you bring up your child is different.
Correct.
According to their beliefs, they do that. So
Correct.
whatever is
You're right, 100%.
yeah. So it is quite necessary that an acquiescence to belief does exist, particularly in early life. There is no reason, though, for an individual to be bound by childhood beliefs or experience. The nature of some such beliefs is that while seemingly obvious ones are recognized as harmful or foolish, others connected to them may not be so easily understood.
Hmm.
So some people, once they understand it is not useful or not, they are harmful, they leave it. Some people.
See, no, when is that? First of all, your first reaction is what you were originally taught with.
Yes.
Because that is your body memory system at play.
Yes. Yes.
And then over time you overcome that. The nature of such belief is that while seemingly obvious ones, right, are
Yes.
recognized as harmful or foolish, others connected to them may not be so easily understood. So basically, then you are able to comprehend. Now he is giving you an example of that. Let's go through that example.
For example, it may seem silly to you that you ever believed in, say, original sin. It may not be so obvious that many of your present actions are caused by a belief in guilt. We will have much to say about the ways in which your beliefs can be connected simply because you are not used to examining them.
Correct.
Okay, let's one more page down.
Hmm.
You may say, I am overweight because I feel guilty about something in my past. You may then try to discover what the charged event was, but in such a case, your trouble is a belief in guilt itself. You do not have to carry such a belief. I am well aware that strong elements of your civilization are built upon ideas of guilt and punishment.
Correct. So we need to take cognizance of this observation.
Yes.
We'll stop here, ma'am,
Okay.
because now it will get time for my being ready. Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
we can do a 10-minute any discussion if required. Yeah. The approach, basically here he is trying to tell us that there are situations that we